Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to remote learning. Boys and girls, we are going to conduct our classes through this second week again with the help of our Google Classroom. So student, here is the first day of second week, and during this week we will start our history section. This is your history book. Before I start, I always ask you to keep your stationery with you so that you may do homework once we finish the lesson. So student, this is the book, and let's start with our first lesson of second week, and this lesson will be from our history book. So open this book and let's see what is our chapter today. This is our first chapter from history section, and this is medieval Europe. And through this medieval Europe we will study about the history, the past, and the events that were covered during this period, especially between 500 till 1500 CE. So students, this is the map of Europe during this period of time. You can see here is the Atlantic Ocean, then these are all European countries, and again we can see that these all European countries, they were all ruled by the Greeks or the other you can say intellectuals. During this period there was the decline. Basically the Greek and all the Western countries, they were basically spending the time where there is the significant decline in intellectual, social, and the education point of view. So some significant characteristics of this era will be discussed in this chapter. You can see this here map of Europe, and these all countries, they were under the rules of different nations from the European countries. So let's start with our European countries which were in the west of the Europe. In the Western Europe there was a history which was divided into three traditional divisions: classical, medieval, and the modern period. The medieval period was lasted for near a century and more than that. This period is called the Middle Ages because it is a time between the fall of Roman Empire and start of the modern Europe. So this era is important as there was the fall of Roman Empire and beginning of modern Europe. So just remember that medieval Europe will focus the fall of Roman Empire and start of modern Europe. The Roman Empire will come to an end. How? Because it has reached to its highest point in the century, especially in the 2nd century, and it took almost 300 years to decline. And during this time the Christianity gradually spread, and it became the part of Roman civilization. Now the fall of the Rome meant that there was the end of the highly developed way of education, literacy, architecture, and rule of law. So student, this was the just little introduction about how the Roman Empire turned into the modern Europe and how it began. We will study more about this during our next lesson. It will happen today and tomorrow as well. Today will be the start, and tomorrow we will continue our discussion about this same topic, how the modern Europe started. So let's see what is our question for today. We have a very short question for today. What you have to do, you have to go through this page number 1 that I studied with you, and our question is about what is meant by dark ages in the history. This term is basically describing the fall. Now answer is, the term dark ages mean that there was a decline in economical, social, intellectual and in other aspects within the Europe, and many achievements which were made by the Romans and Greeks, they were forgotten. So student, this was all for today. This is your first lesson of grade 7 history. So do this question in your copies, read the page number 1 carefully and submit your work in the Google Classroom. Thank you very much. We will talk more about it tomorrow, and inshallah you will know more about the modern Europe. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.